Hi guys, Nathan here with our project truck Trailhound, and we're at High Country 4x4 in Englewood, Colorado, and we're going to be doing some cool stuff. That's including replacing this bumper with a off-road bumper and a winch, and more. Stay tuned, it's going to be epic. Yes, we did add box suspension to this whole truck, but the thing is that there's no lift back here. So with all of this stuff, well, what we noticed, especially going off-road, is that the rear kind of has a little bit of almost a Carolina drop. It's not that bad, but it is a bit of a drop. So the question is, if we add a little bit more weight up front with that heavy-duty bumper and the winch, will it even out? I love talking to guys who have the same name as I. This is Nate, and Nate is with AEV, and he's going to take us through exactly what we're going to be putting on to our rig. So get started, my friend. What do we got?
So this is our whole front bumper setup for the Ram 19 Plus 2500s and 3500s. So the first thing we have here is going to be our intercooler skid plate. This is an add-on piece here underneath the bumper.
Right.
So the intercooler on these Ram trucks hang down really low, so this way we can protect it just like that front bumper is doing. This is actually our wing kit for it. So our outer wings are modular, so if you either want it for 37-inch tall tires or 40-inch tall tires, we have two different versions of these wings. Inside this, you actually will reuse the factory fog lights. I see your truck already came with them. In this big box, their center section, one of the things that you'll notice with AV products, we do a lot of steel stamping. We get those high definition of curves and whatnot, and actually add strength to the product when we do that. This outer section is actually 4 millimeters thick with a 3/16 substructure to it. It adds that strength to it when you actually need to recover your vehicle that weighs probably pushing 10,000 pounds now.
What do you think this is going to weigh with the winch? Just a ballpark.
With the winch, you're probably going to be in like that 200 pound range. I think where bumper comes in about 140, and your winch probably weighs, probably about 240 actually.
240 pounds,
yeah.
Okay, so slightly less than me.
Then we got the mounting kit, the low tube, and also on the very end there is our intercooler shroud. So we got that protection for the intercooler.
Right.
But this intercooler shroud helps direct air to go through that intercooler.
I see. Do you have to redirect the intercooler, move it around at all, or can it stay where it is?
It stays in the factory location. We just want to make sure that it's getting all the airflow it needs.
Gotcha. So what do we have here then?
This is our 7000 series lights. These provide 9,900 raw lumens and 8,000 effective lumens.
Oh, look at that.
You're going to notice how big the heat sink is on the back side here.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then all our little rubber bushings to help keep reduce vibration when going down trails. It's got some heft to it.
It certainly does.
These are nodular cast iron recovery points. This is a pretty good solid piece of steel here. So it's meant to mount a 1-inch anchor shackle for recovery.
Right.
Big trucks can't use the same anchor shackles that our Jeeps use. And then
so does it go like this way then?
It goes that way. And then this is actually a little foot that you'll see in the bottom of the bumper. So when you actually slide on a rock, this will take the brunt force of it.
Oh yes, it sure will. Manly. All right. There's synthetic rope. And there's our winch and other components right there. Howdy folks, Nathan here with Brady, the VP of High Country 4x4 Performance. You guys have probably seen this sign if you've been driving in this area for a while now. I've seen this thing since I've been here for years and years and years. And I'm gonna take you on a tour with Brady through the shop. We're gonna talk about what this place does and more. So why don't we take a walk inside? Hey pups, how you doing? Oh yeah. Now there's a bunch of shops in the back and we're going to cover that in just a second, but Brady, can you take us over here and then we're going to start walking and talking about what we got.
We've been in the current location since 1980.
I wanted to talk about this Jeep because I think this is a really good way to sort of demonstrate what you guys do. Because if you look from the bottom all the way to the top, all the components that are on here, a majority of them, you can get here, you can get them installed here as well. Am I correct?
Yeah. So that's the beauty of kind of what we do at High Country. We can bolt things on, we can build things. This vehicle is kind of a combination of both. because we want everything to be attainable for everybody. So this is a 2006 LJ, you know, Terraflex long arm suspension. There's a SKU for that part number. Dynatrac Pro Rock 60s on it. It's kind of the drivetrain, factory 4-liter, and then Nemesis did all of the body work for it. And most of all this is available by part number SKU with the exception of the doors, and then it has a custom rear cutout. And then small stuff, you know, with us is like straightening the coils and some other small custom work, and then factory cage that Nemesis did with added bars and things. So it is a good representation kind of both the custom work and off-the-shelf parts to complete, you know, one project. We don't really care, to be honest, we don't care if you want to have a very nice clean looking truck to go get groceries, or if you want to build a rock crawler or anything in between, or camping with the family. It's all about, you know, just the needs, individual needs and wants, because we want everybody to enjoy the backyard that we're so lucky to have here. So that's why, yeah, we try to cater to everybody and to cater to the community, to build a community by building vehicles. So, yeah, so we'll bring you guys into the fab shop. So if you look behind you, this will kind of show you kind of the scheme of what we do. This is going to be non-off-the-shelf stuff, you know, custom work. So like this, for example, started as a TJ. So we can see we back half the frame as opposed to coming out straight like a back half that comes all the way up. This is one, you know, piece. You know, large iron worker, you know, small iron worker, blast cabinet. We use a RMD mandrel bender. We also have a radius bender on it, plasma table. So anything we need to cut, custom brackets, all get programmed into CAD or SolidWorks.
Everything is in-house.
Yep, we try to do everything in-house. It saves time, saves people money, and then we have the product we want. And then sheet metal work, pan brake, stomp shear, roller, and then lathe there. And then shows you know, kind of what we got going on.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, if we want to get to a bigger project, so this M715 with modern drivetrain, so LS swap, axle swap, all custom built suspension. By our fab guy, John. He's a wizard.
Now, I think this looks kind of familiar.
Yeah.
This is, I believe, the same or very similar AEV bumper and this component here as well, where the intercooler is, so we can get a little quick look at what we're gonna get soon. Apparently you're working on Porsches too.
It is all-wheel
awesome.
drive, so it does have four-wheel drive. So, and then this is our truck. So it's, you know, meant to tow the Jeeps, and then we can do some of the overland stuff a little bit higher speed. So this is the west side. It's more traditional what High Country does. So 4-post hunter rack, so we can align even the biggest Rams like what you guys have. And then moving through, this is kind of where the faster, higher production stuff comes, you know, out of this side. And then other weird projects, you know, we got, I mean, between the Porsche, the Harley, the Datsun, the Tundra, your guys' Ram is behind the Tundra. And then this is Eb, our longest 10-year tech. This is his bay. He's kind of, you know, separated from everybody. So it's like a big giant maze.
It really is.
A maze of cool stuff.
Yeah, I just can imagine some of your new employees trying to take them around. It take a little while to learn.
Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, but yeah, that's everything. So you guys have seen it all.
Yeah, we certainly have. This has been awesome, guys. Well, this is gonna be more than a one-day build, and as such, my buddy Case is gonna hit this on the flip side.
So it's day 2 now, and a couple changes since yesterday. For one, the bumper's actually on, right?
Yep, bumper's on, skid plate on. We actually have the lights mounted to the front bumper. Now we're just finishing up the wiring for the lights, and then we gotta put the tires back on and be ready to roll. So.
And you guys were talking about something cool with the wiring for these lights. So the way that you're gonna wire it up is that they'll come on and off with the high beams, right?
Yep, so what we like to do is when you turn the high beams on and you have the switch on for your auxiliary lights, they'll come on. But then when you see like an oncoming car or some reason to turn off your high beams, your auxiliary lights will go shut off as well. So that's what we're gonna try to wire up today, so this way it's a little bit easier for when you use them on the road.
So that if you're lighting up a country road, you don't have to do 2 things in order to shut all of your brights off. You can just...
Exactly. So this way you're not like trying to scramble, hit the high beams off, and then reach down and find that auxiliary switch that's somewhere else on your dash.
Is that pretty easy to wire up? Is it kind of the harness built that way, or?
Yep. The harness actually we're just kind of tapping into it. Normally you can just wire it into the battery, but we're going to peel back. We'll see here. On this, we're putting an inline connector. This is going to tap into the high beam light on your your headlights.
Right.
So we're going to bypass that to make it a little easier. And this ties into your battery for your main power for your lights.
Very cool. That's going to be a really nice thing to have because it'll just make it all the more useful. And look at that. I love ambers. I'm excited to see these guys actually switch on.
Yep. This should look pretty good. Also, remember, always take your covers off your lights when you turn them on.
Yeah.
These lights are powerful enough, they will melt the covers.
Yeah. You turn them on with the covers on, the covers are going to come off one way or another, whether you melt through them or, yeah. So right now we've got the truck going up so that the wheels can come back on, but now that it's up in the air a little bit, we can see some of the protection here for the intercooler. That's a mean piece of metal right there.
Yeah, we designed it with these 6 bars here. This way we get good airflow to the intercooler, and this is actually a metal shroud to help direct the air through it. But we need to keep that airflow for it because the intercooler needs to be, well, cool. That's why we designed it with the bars, so if you do off-road it and you encounter a rock, you're going to hit those bars against the rock and not your intercooler. These little pieces are solid, you know, that nodular steel. So this way, when you do contact something first, that little piece on that bumper is going to take the brunt of force and not the edge of the bumper. To think about how thick this material is, it's 4mm thick, or basically 8-gauge steel. And when you stamp this, you have to have a giant die, you know, one convex and one concave. And that press is over 100,000 ton press that has to push the steel into all these grooves to make it, you know, all the different surfaces. So when that press comes down, it actually shakes the ground at how much force is, you know, needed to make the steel, you know, appear this way.
That just makes it all the more badass. Yeah, this is, the first thing I did when I walked up to this was reach in and feel how thick this steel is, and it's serious. I like how accessible the lever to spool this, free spool it is.
Well, that's one of the big
Nice.
things about our front bumper is like now you actually have access to see the winch line, make sure it's not building up on one side or the other. You know, it's easy for you to get in your hand in here to unlatch the clutch here so you can actually pull it out.
Now we've got bumper installed and we're ready to go.
Tommy here. So they just got this truck done. Super excited to check it out, and I want to play with one of the coolest features on this truck. Alex, why don't you get a little closer and we'll show off this Warn 16.5 TIS thermometric winch. Now this is a fully synthetic winch, 16,500 pound capacity, and you need such a large winch on a vehicle this size, and of course synthetic line, which is definitely my favorite. Now the control, very simple on this beast. So you can just plug it in. You get these little pins here. And that puppy, just find this little slot, just like that. Plug that in. And then the clutch engagement is over here on the passenger side of the winch. Go to free spool, and then we can pull it out. And we're gonna try winching this rusty old car from out of its spot where it's been stuck for a hot while. It's all locked up, and we're gonna see, can this winch move this old French wagon? Start up the truck, get some extra voltage. And typically, you'd want to put something on the winch line just in case it snaps, but this is such a light load for 16,500 pounds. I'm not too concerned. Now the brakes have been locked up on this car. Let's winch in and see if it can pull it. Oh, the brakes just freed themselves. Look at that. And just like that, you can see, I mean, the winch isn't even trying here. That car's been buried into the ground there for a good 6 months. And the truck is pulling it like it's been there 3 days. That's pretty cool.
Just like that, the big bad Trailhound Cummins is even bigger and badder than it was before. And looking at the truck, it does look like it's actually sitting more level than it was before. It's pretty spot on as it sits right now. And also just that added capability of having a winch on the front of this truck so that we can use it for a bunch of recoveries coming into the summer when we're running people on our off-road course here at Tumbleweed, having the extra lighting up front, and the way that that AEV front bumper fits the front end of this truck, doesn't stick way far out like a lot of aftermarket bumpers do. This is the perfect setup for what we need to use it for. So you're going to be seeing this truck and all of these new additions, a whole bunch on our off-road channel especially. Let us know what you all think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.